David Goggins. Goggins, my dude.
So I'll tell you a funny story about Goggins. So I was in Buds. I was in SEAL training. I was in first phase.
He did it 3 times, this guy.
Yeah.
He is, dude, this dude, stay hard.
I was in first phase. Brand new, like, it was like the first week of Buds.
Okay.
So it's like,
what's Buds?
Buds is basic underwater demolition SEAL training, right?
Yeah, basic underwater demolition SEAL training. Buds.
So it's like it's a selection for the program, right?
Okay.
And it's like 270 guys start per class, right? Sometimes 300. And we're all lined up in front of the barracks. And David Goggins, SEAL Team 5 is like right next to the Buds compound. You got SEAL Team 5, SEAL Team 7. You have this gate to the Buds SEAL training compound that you could cut through to go to the beach, and guys would go do swims and pull-ups and all this other stuff. And David Goggins, he was gonna go do a swim, had his wetsuit like half down, like around. This is when he was like,
because he was a big guy at first,
muscular, he was heavy set, like before he went and become a SEAL, but he was like jacked, you know. And so he walks past us, and he stops, and everybody stands at attention real quick because we all know that he's a SEAL. He wasn't Dave Goggins like everybody knows that he's Goggins now, but he was a SEAL. So anytime a SEAL came through the compound, that was like a big thing. And he stopped, and he looked at us, everybody snapped attention. He said, "Oh, you black mother better make it." It was only 3 of us. All the white dudes like,
I guess we're talking about you. I don't think he's motivating us.
But he is so intense. I've been watching him for years. And I got to talk to him. I was Dr. Dre, and Dr. Dre calls him. You know, he says, "Yo, my boy Dave is I'm about to come over," and he calls. He's on the phone, and Dr. Dre's like, "Yo, I got my man Godfrey." He goes, "Hey, mother, let me tell you something, man. Don't you making fun of me, asshole. I'll kick your ass. I love you, man. You're bad. Stay hard." I can do it.
That's it.
I don't have it because he does this thing where he's jogging, right? He jogs in the heat. He goes, let me tell you a slow story. He's running. He goes, "There's this guy." He said, "Hey, David Goggins, I want to come work out with you." "Well, you better show up at 5 a.m. mother." And he goes, "Guess what? He didn't show up. Him." And he kept going, "Stay hard." But that's David. And they that's him. He said, "People tell me not to curse. I don't have time for that." He goes, and he's been through he's such a motivator. And I always wonder if that's one of your motivations.
Yeah, did you go through the same type of stuff? Because I know you had gone through Buds. Yeah, with SEAL training, because you passed Buds, and then you couldn't do the underwater.
I fell die phase. Die phase. So I made it through Hell Week, made it through first phase, all of the big selection.
Well, what's Hell Week? Is it harder than NFL Hell Week?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, they told people have died in Hell Week. I mean, it's died in Hell Week. Yeah, it's relentless. I almost died in Hell Week the first time I went through. I had no type in rhabdo. So they torture. It's just 6 days. It starts on Sunday, ends on Friday.
You can't tell us the activities?
They keep you wet and cold. They strip you down in your underwears in the ocean, have you in the surf zone, freezing to the point of hypothermia. My lowest core temperature at one point was 88.7. They have push-ups, boats on head. So you got to run with these boats on your heads. It feels like your neck's going to break. Log PT. I mean,
88 degrees because, 95 is the start of hypothermia.
Yeah. I was at 88.7.
So if you die, it's like, oh, well.
Well, I mean, they don't want guys to die in training, but guys have died in training. But like when I was that close, my temperature got down. They took me to medical, rewarmed me, got my core temperature back to like 97. And then I went back to the Bay. We were at the Bay Area during this part of Hell Week, and we were right by the water, and it's freezing cold. And they said, "Hey, see, they warmed you up." I'm like, "Yeah." Instructor says, you want to quit or you want to go back in that cold water?" I'll go back in the water, get back in the cold water. So it's just straight torture for 6 days. They just really breaking you down. It's not physical. It's once you pass the screening test to get into SEAL training, I'm sure David would say the same thing. Once you pass the physical screener, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, 1.5 mile run in boots and pants, all that stuff, you have told the Navy that you could physically make it through training. Okay. The question now becomes, do you have what it takes mentally to make it through the program? And so it's all mental. I mean, the torture is all mental. And they just use physical tools to torture you mentally. But physically, you could do everything from the long, cold swims without wetsuits to the night swims to, I mean, just
night swims.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Well, first off, let me just apologize to you. I'm sorry that I asked that dumb question about if Hell Week in the NFL was harder. That is a dumb question.
There's water involved.
There's no comparison. I ain't
water
never
part
like that. That is crazy.
Yeah, starts on Sunday, ends on Friday. You get 2 hours of sleep on Wednesday if you make it that far. And by that time, your brain is so wired, most guys can't fall asleep.
So you don't sleep until Wednesday?
Until Wednesday, you get 2 hours.
You start on Sunday.
Start on Sunday.
You're awake.
You're awake.
You're awake on Monday.
Awake on Monday.
You're awake on Tuesday.
Awake on Tuesday.
Before we get to Wednesday, you've not slept Sunday,
no
Monday.
sleep, period.
And then Tuesday, you get 2 hours of
Wednesday.
sleep. Oh, Wednesday, you get two. He said, no,
Yeah,
I said Wednesday. Don't cut me a day. Wednesday,
And
2 hours.
that's if you could fall asleep, because by that time your brain is so wired from being up that long that it's hard to fall asleep. And if you do fall asleep, as soon as you wake up, they put you back into the ocean to get you wet, right? And then you get another 2 hours.
It's the ocean thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And the ocean is cold.
And that's why, is that why you call seals because of the water, like a seal?
Well, SEAL is an acronym. So SEAL stands for sea, air, and land.
Yeah.
Sea, air, and land.
That's how they attack.
Yeah.
Okay, because I thought it was a seal because you swim like.
But yeah, it's a
Thinking
play
about
on it. 'Cause
seal.
we do a lot of stuff in the water. You know what I mean? We do a lot of diving.
So what you did your training down in San Diego? Coronado.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. I just went to the new Navy SEALs facility.
Yeah, and down in Imperial Beach.
Imperial Beach.
Yes.
And let me tell you something.
Is it sick?
I got a private tour and it was amazing. I was going through.
You see the water obstacle course?
I saw the Ninja Warrior obstacle course.
Yeah.
Did you see? They have a whole Ninja Warrior obstacle course.
Yeah.
No, above water. It's
above
this
the pool,
massive pool.
Yeah.
And I'm going, and they didn't know that I hosted American Ninja Warrior. And I go, and I'm like, guys, stop. Like, that's the Ninja Warrior course. They go, yeah, it's inspired by the show. I'm blown away. But they have to put on all of this gear. So it's not like the ninjas on the show.
No, they have to.
They got all this gear. I think it's like 28 pounds of gear, if I'm not mistaken, or something crazy.
So they had moved down to that compound after I got out of the teams, because I got out in 2016.
Okay.
And so all that is brand new. I think that's going back 4 years now.
Beautiful facility. The gym, everything. Yeah.
Oh, it ain't beautiful when you going through that. Kiss my ass.
Beautiful once you get to the team part of it, because now you ain't. But the job is hard though.
So you had the pneumonia thing.
I had pneumonia, SIPE, swim-induced pulmonary edema, and then I had hypothermia. So I ended up getting medical roll, and when I got out of the ICU, had to start day one of first phase all over again.
Why?
Because
it didn't count.
I didn't know. Didn't count.
Because you got sick.
It didn't count.
Yeah. So if you make it past Wednesday of Hell Week, then you get rolled forward. I got to Tuesday of Hell Week, so I got rolled back. So I had to start day one of first phase all over again.
Oh, wow.
And watch hundreds of guys quit again, go through Hell Week. I made it through Hell Week, and then got to second phase, and then I got kicked out in dive phase for failing a dive test.
Wow. What did you have to do? Go and grab something?
So in dive phase, there's a number of tests. You got ditch and don, you swim down to the bottom of the water, take off all your dive gear underwater on one breath, then you ascend up top, then you come back down and you got to don all of your gear.
Oh, hell.
Then you got night ditch and don where you do that blindfolded, then you got buddy gear exchange.
How many meters are you going down?
I think it was like 10 feet down.
10 feet?
That's
10 feet down.
That's kind of deep.
And then you have a buddy gear exchange where you and your buddy swim down on one tank, and then you got to take all the dive gear off your buddy, put it on, and then he has to do the same thing. You do the same thing. Blindfolded, then you have pool comp with
blindfolded.
With essentially a blacked out mask,
in the water.
Mask, underwater. Then you have pool comp where the instructor swim down to you, rattle you, tie your hoses and knot. They just destroy your kit. And on one breath, and they hit you after you exhaling your air. So you'll be down there, and all your bubbles go out. That's when they hit you. So now you're like, no oxygen in your nose.
Oxygen inside the lungs.
You got to figure it all out, and you got to do everything in proper sequence. And then the test that I failed was the tread, where you have on 280 dive tanks, weight belt, all this dive gear. You got to keep your hands above water.
Wow.
Just use your feet.
Wow.
And it feels like you're drowning because it's like 5 minutes. And then after the 5 minutes, you got to swim down on your stomach and then back on your back. I failed that 4 times. So after I failed that, I went to an academic review board, and they were just like, hey, you've already been rolled for medical. I had gotten rolled for failing swims in first phase, and they was like, we can't give you another roll, so you gotta go to the fleet. So I went to 1st Marine Division at Camp Pendleton. I was a battalion 1-4 and scout sniper platoon and then a mortar platoon. And then after I did a deployment with them, I came back and started day one of buds all over, and then I made it through.
So you did,
Yeah.
You put yourself through torture.
I wanted it though. You know what I mean?
Man, that's different. Like, now, the only thing closest to the reason why I'm having this intense reaction is because one of the things that I love to do is scuba dive.
Yeah.
And as you're expressing all those things, I would panic if I was in that situation.
Yeah.
Even having all your stuff all distorted and you're not, and you can't see, and to stay calm and you don't have that much.
Yeah.
I know for sure I would not have failed. I would have died.
Yeah.
I would have absolutely died on that first go around. Because that's extremely difficult.
Yes. Oh yeah. But it's all mental. I mean, a lot of guys, I remember showing up to buds, you had guys who were Rhodes Scholars, guys who went to Harvard, guys who were accountants and lawyers and decided one day, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I think I want to be a Navy SEAL. So it's a very high caliber group of guys, not just from a physical standpoint, but from an intellectual standpoint. And that all comes into play when you're dealing with having to work out those dive issues underwater, having to work out det cords and how to set explosives at a certain, for them to go at a specific time, and all of these things that are required around. Even me, like I was a human guy, which stands for human intelligence, having to go overseas and run sources and figure out, is this source lying? Is this intelligence bad? Is this person working for the opposition? And having to really scrutinize that intelligence and then write intelligence reports and send those up so that we could go hit targets. So it's a very heady type job. A lot of people hear about SEALs and Delta and special forces and Air Force PJs, and they just think commandos, big dudes. But there's a big intellectual component to it.
154, we all connected, baby, you already know. I'm talking 154. We bringing Africa around the whole globe. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like